Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, it's a transfer show, and there's it's another day where new names are linked, and just shows you how far our club's gone. And I'm joined by Rolly tonight. How are you, Rolly?
Positively Champions League.
I thought you were going to say that.
Well, a lot better than yesterday, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys and girls, if you do like what you see, then please do smash that like button. It really does help the channel and puts it at the top of the search settings so people can find the channel easy if they haven't been on the channel before. So do smash those likes. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then come and join this great community by smashing that subscribe button. And also that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. So I'm currently on 651 subscribers at the moment. Thank you very much. If you do want to join as a member, it is 99p per month. Click the join button, or there's a link in the chat. And next month will be the first time we'll do a prize draw, and there'll be prize draws every month. So become the member for 99p. It's really worth it. Also, Super Chat is available as well. So if you want to make a donation, what you think the channel's worth, and put something in the comment, your comment will be read out first as well. So thank you very much indeed, everybody. Let's get to some comments before we get into the show. And Lawrence is straight in. Evening, everyone. Good evening, Lawrence. Hope you're well. Mason says evening. Good evening to you, Mason. Hope you're well, mate. Mary says evening. Good evening, Mary. Hope you're well. Exploring the Northeast. Evening, Tony. Good evening to you. Ian says evening, folks. Good evening, Ian. Hope you're having a great day, mate. Lewis says Toon Black and White Army. Absolutely, Lewis. And I hope you're well too, mate. Bia says evening, Tony, Rolly and chat. Good evening, Bia. Evening, says Paul Gardner. Good evening, Paul. Wayne says evening, Tony, Rolly and all in chat. Good evening to you as well, Wayne. Want some signs, mate? Start the roll, says Ian. Well, yeah, absolutely. That's going to happen. Rolly has one feeling, positively Champions League, says Jake. Pablo says, evening, Tony and Rolly. I'm glad to see we're linked with Tino. He's a good player. I know Southampton rate him highly. Yep, we're going to grab into him in a moment. Lee says, evening, Tony and Rolly. How's your weekend been, like, lads and everyone? Yeah, it's been absolutely great, Lee. I've done some videos. I've done a video Saturday, a pre-record, which I put out there. And then, because I went down to the seaside in the afternoon. So, Joe Linton says, will the prize draw be for a new Rolex? No, Joe Linton, no, I'm not that rich, mate. Sorry. I wished I was, but no. If I was that rich and I would give Rolexes away, that would be absolutely fantastic. Nate says, just read we have offered Kim and Jay 230,000 a week. So what's called us saying we know how reliable they are. Yeah, exactly, Kong. I mean, look, they said the other day we're linked with, Vlahovic, Dusan Vlahovic. Yes, I would take him. But the thing is, when I look at Dusan Vlahovic, yes, he's a great striker. But the only thing I do question is his attitude in the dressing room. And that's the key. That's the key for our dressing room, is the attitude. And whether his attitude would fit in, I'm not so sure. But again, I mean, I've heard other rumours going around that we're ahead of Man U in the queue now for Kim Min Jae. But again, it's just rumours. Bona Sosa says Andrew. Yeah, I would love him. Mason says apparently AC Milan want Loftus-Cheek as a replacement for Tonali. Yeah, I've heard that as well. I think Chelsea want about 50 million for him. Bia says, have you seen the links to Bosnini from Frankfurt? No, I haven't, Bia, not at all, no. I'm just making sure there's no trick names, because last night they tried to catch Pete out loads of times with trick names.
Yeah, that was one as well.
Yeah, evening says, Jan, good evening to you. Hi, Tony, Rolly and all, says Coffee, good evening, Coffee. Paul says, any info, not really seeing any, to be honest, just sources saying that we are raiding Italy. Well, it's called the Italian job. Evening, Jan, says Andrew, and Jake says, anyone seen Bruno in the old shirt? No, I haven't. Really got Tony got baited with that name. Oh, I didn't read it out though. That's the thing. I didn't read the name out, and we're not reading that one out there. That Joe Linton. You're not going to catch me out. You're right. Pete got caught out last night with one name, and yeah, it got caught out, and we were like, yes, so happy about that. Uh, has Kane gone to Man United? Not that I know of, Wayne. I've not heard that, but again, um, don't want to talk about Man United really, are we? Because um, they're just the other the team on the other opposite side in the northwest, and but I'm not sure if he has. I have not seen anything. He's wearing the old brown ale one with his magic hat on Instagram. Oh, I'll have to check that one out then, Jake. Definitely. Right. Okay. So let's get into the transfer news right now. We've seen some breaking news coming out tonight, and it's now being reported by the Telegraph, and I think it's by the reporter down Southampton way from the Telegraph. And what he's actually saying is we are now in advanced negotiations with Southampton, and I'm going to give the lad his full name, for Valentino Livramento. Now then, Valentino Livramento, he's English. He's 20 years of age, 5'11". So obviously he doesn't command a squad place because he's under the 21-year-old bracket. So far score value 24 million euros. Obviously we know it's 15 million. He's got no outstanding strengths or weaknesses. Last season he played 2 games only. Didn't score any goals, obviously, or any assists. And didn't have any yellow cards or anything last season because he never played hardly. I mean, look, if we look at the season before, because obviously that doesn't really give you a great stat for that season. But looking at the season before, he started 25 out of 28 games, was team of the week once. He scored 1 goal and got 1 assist as well, and 16 sheets, and he only got 2 yellow cards all season. So pretty good on his disciplinary record.
Well, apparently, he had an ACL, which is why he missed most of last season.
Yeah. Now then, this is what I said yesterday, Rory. The thing is, what I said yesterday was, right, we've saw videos go from other channels, and one of the other channels said they wouldn't take Chiesa because he's had cruciate ligament injury and he has these little muscle injuries. Now, I looked at his injury record yesterday. Now, look, I think most of the times he was out with a muscle thing, a muscle illness, or tendon, and he was out for 2 games at the most. The cruciate ligament one, he was out for 269 days. So he missed basically a season. But that can happen. But like I said to people yesterday, Rolly, and this is where you've got to remember, look, Callum Wilson has had 2 ACLs and he's still playing well. And we know he's had his injury record. We know his injury record isn't great, but he's had 2 ACLs. So just because somebody's had an ACL doesn't mean automatically say, oh, well, don't touch him with a barge pole, because it's Wilson, he's missed 2. If you look at Wilson, he's lost 2 years of his football career because of it. But again, look how great he is in front of goal. He's been electric, hasn't he? So, but it looks like now we've managed his injury. So if, say, we got Chiesa in, we would manage his injury proneness. So all these little niggly muscle injuries, you look at that and you think, right, now, I don't know how Max Allegri trains these players at Juve, If I did, then I could probably have a magic wand and say, this is why they're picking up these little niggles. So we don't know what the training methods are from Max Allegri and his coaching team at Juve. But Eddie and his coaching team are totally different. And the thing is, Chiesa could come in and he might not have many niggles at all season. He might have 1 or 2 maybe, but he might not have them all. But what you're getting with Chiesa is he likes the pressing game. He likes the intensity game. So he fits in straight away into the team. He's a cracking winger. And he would frighten a fair few defences in that Premier League, that's for sure. So again, if he's available for 35 million, I would take Chiesa, because just look past, you've got to look above his injury record. but you've got to look at how Eddie Howe's look how Eddie Howe's managed Wilson. You know, he kept Wilson on the bench for a few games. Then when Wilson came in, he started playing, started scoring more, and look how well Wilson's done. So that's what you got to look at the end of the day. So let's look aside the injuries. I mean, yes, Livramento, he had an injury last season which kept him out for the season, and he only played a couple of games. But again, he's fit now. I think 15 million represents good value. I'm just surprised we're after another right back because we've got Trippier, we've got Harrison Ashby, and we've got Kraft returning. The only thing I'm thinking is, are we going to sell Kraft and get Livramento in as his replacement? That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe we've got a buyer for Kraft. Who knows? And that's the thing. So, Livramento, I mean, look, we know he's got quality. And he's only young. He's only 20. So, he's nowhere near his peak yet. He's got a fair way to go yet. There he is on screen now. I mean, like I say, yes, he's got no outstanding weaknesses or strengths, but the thing is, like I say, he's got the quality there.
And the
And
thing about the
yeah,
injuries now, the ACL, it's not like it was in the sort of like 80s where it was a career ender.
mm,
There's lots of, I mean, Alan Shearer did his cruise ship. When we sold Les Ferdinand, still scored when he came back. He still was really good.
yeah,
So Callum Wilson says too. It's a career end. It's a season ender. It's not a career ender. The other injuries, sports science, sports medicine is improving all the time, and especially if we're increasing the strength of a squad, there's more time to rotate, more opportunity to rotate, so people won't be. If someone's got a slight niggle, they can take them out the firing line and replace them, so that they don't aggravate it more. And one of the
yeah,
problems we've had with Wilson is that before sort of this season, and to some extent last season, is when he was injured and out, we couldn't score, so they'd keep him playing for as long as he possibly could.
yeah.
So it wasn't doing him any good. But injuries. Obviously, they'll have a medical and they'll see how he's recovered. And if he's played a couple of games at the end of last season, obviously the recovery's gone well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think ACLs and injuries like that are more of a bargaining chip than an actual concern.
I mean, the thing is, Rolly, right? He's gonna, he's not going to break the bank in terms of FFP because we could treble wages, and it's still not really affecting the wage bill because he's only on £8,000 a week at Southampton. So, even if he was offered 24 grand a week to come play at Newcastle, it's not breaking the bank. So FFP is still kept fairly low on that. So
I believe he can play
because I
left
wouldn't
back as
think they would
well.
give him huge wages. To be fair, if he's only on 8 grand a week at Southampton,
Double it, double it.
well, they've got him primarily as a right back.
Yeah, but I think he can cover it left
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, just wouldn't. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the last time, um, the last time we had a player called Valentino, he was called Lazaro. But this guy, he's only 20, and like I say, he's got a long way to go in the game, and that's the thing. That's the key thing. Southampton signed him from Chelsea. He was a youngster at Chelsea. Southampton signed him 2 years ago for 6.9 million. But like I say, the lad can play. He just needs he just needs the confidence and maybe just get his confidence back. And maybe playing in a team that plays high intensity pressing style football might be right up his street. I mean, no disrespect to him at Southampton. Southampton don't play the greatest of football, in all honesty. So yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's a bad move, and the 15 million, it's low risk as well. So at the end of the day, you look at him and you think, right, okay, um,
That's,
you're not sure, then you can always sell him on. I mean, look,
and the
the
other
thing
thing,
is, when you look at Livramento, the players that he's actually compared with, the other players that are on the list that's compared with him, is Declan Rice, Rodri, Frankie de Jong, Lisandro Martinez, and Frimpong. So that, so he's got that sort of, because you could probably push him up as a midfielder. In all honesty,
and
much
then
see, and he
the other
doesn't make him into a midfielder.
the other good thing I've just seen a thing in the Chronicle is it's going to be a player plus cash deal with Ryan
Does that
Fraser.
mean Fraser?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Ryan Fraser expected to go the opposite direction as part of the deal. So that will actually lower wage. If you double his wages, even triple it, he'll still be less than Fraser was earning.
Yeah, yeah,
So you,
absolutely.
so you save some money there.
I mean, look, I'll put him. I can't compare him because I hasn't got the compare table on there. But I mean, look, he's young. He's got time to grow, and that's the main thing. He's got time on his side, and who's to say that that injury is not just it's a one off. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's another youngster through the door, isn't it? And he's already Premier League proven because he's played in the Premier League, so he's played games in the Premier League, so that's even better. I'm just going to dip into some comments there as well. Lee says, breaking news, the Kaiser Chiefs are playing in Milan opening song, I predict a riot. I'll tell you what, not only is it going to be a riot when Tonali leaves, but if we go and get Hernandez as well, they're going to kick off big time, aren't they? Because apparently Dan Ashworth and Steve Nixon are still in Italy. So is Simons. I would like Simons. He's a hell of a player, but I can't see us going for him. But
Not
who
anymore.
knows? Coffee says, to be fair, PD, Wayne Kerrins is a former footballer who played in the 1980s. Oh my God, seen it all now. Man U fans calling for a boycott of Adidas to stop doing business with the Glazers. Absolutely pathetic. One of their highest spenders and still not happy. Club of wankers. Do you know what it is, Nate? I mean, look, it's looking like the takeover's gone and it looks like the Glazers are staying. Do you know what it is? I love it. I love it. Because do you know what? It reminds me of our former owner when he kept saying we're selling the club, selling the club. Eventually, it took him 14 years to sell the club. But do you know what? Yeah, let the Man U fans rock with the Glazers. Lawrence says Mankio will likely be away. Can't see Kraft going anywhere. Yeah, Mankio's wanted by clubs in the Premier League in Spain, I think France
It's a
as
lot of
well. So
options.
again, do you know what? Yeah, if Mankio goes, do you know what? He's been a good servant. He's done well for us and we only paid 4 million for him. So again, it's he's done all right for us. I would sell Mankio, says Mason. Yeah, agree. Livramento can play both left and right. Would be a quality player. Absolutely, Kong. Archer says, what's your thoughts on Newcastle and talks of Livramento? Hope you keep him well, Tony and Rolly. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine, Archer. Thank you, mate. And no, I think do you know what? I don't think it's a bad move, Archer. I think it's low risk. Even if Fraser's worth 5 million, so that will cost us 10 million for Livramento. And we'll probably pay that in installments, in all honesty, like we did with Nick Pope's 10 million. Because it gets you around the FFP as well. But I don't think it's a bad move. He won't be on high wages, so he's not a high earner. And it's one to develop into a very, very good player. And I think he could develop into an excellent player. And who's to say he's not going to be a future England right back as well? He's already played in the under-21s. Obviously, he's not in this tournament for the under-21s. As we saw yesterday, Anthony Gordon scored with a lovely header for England. And, I mean, I watched that game yesterday with England. I was going to watch the Italy game. I totally forgot I was watching the England game. But I tell you what, Gordon, he was playing in like an up front role, and he looked quite good actually up front. Because England didn't start with a natural striker on the pitch. But I thought he looked good. And I'm going to put this in the chat now, and I want people in the chat I want their thoughts on this, right? Now, The player who got the second goal for England is Emile Smith-Rowe of Arsenal. Now, obviously, he's had an injury-hit season last season and didn't hardly play. In Arsenal, going for all these different players, would you take Smith-Rowe at Newcastle? Because I'll tell you what, I would take him. Because they call him down in Arsenal the Croydon De Bruyne. And even Arteta calls him the Croydon De Bruyne. Rory, would you take Emile Smith-Rowe? He's quality.
Yeah, I mean, he fits into the pattern of spending. Young talent with a big upside. He's been pushed way down the pecking order at Arsenal, but not the season we finished. The season before, he had a really good season. Yeah, because we seem to be, because we've got a lot of experience in the team anyway, because it's an older squad. We're bringing in lots of youth, some younger players, so that they can develop and all sort of reach their peak at the same time in sort of 3 or 4 years. So he fits into that sort of category. The only problem he's got, and the only reason why I might not take him, because you look at our midfield at the moment, it's stacked. It is so.
Yeah, but Rory, he can play attacking midfield and left wing.
Yeah, but let's say it's where to get a game. That's the thing. I'm not saying I'm against it, but the reason I think
I just wanted to put that out there.
I don't think we'll go for him because the position he plays in, we're stacked. I mean, he's not going to start ahead of even a left wing. You're looking at ASM, and if they want to, Isak out wide. He's not going to start up ahead of either of them. Or Joe Linton. It's just the stats. That's the only reason why I wouldn't take him.
I mean, Jan says lots of young top class players out there. We have to get in there now, not later. Some of them are good enough to come off the bench. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying they're not good enough to come off the bench, but the problem is with midfield, our bench is stacked as well. It's not just the start. I mean, you look at our midfield at the moment. You've got Joe Linton, Bruno. You have Tonali, Longstaff, Willock, Anderson. There's a lot of talent there, and they all can't play in three in the middle.
Talking of Tonali, apparently that they say Friday is when we're going to officially see the official announcement of Tonali, so that maybe photographs, because maybe obviously Italy are still playing in the group stages, and they've got to because basically I think they've got to either win or draw the next game to get through, haven't they? I mean, they were lucky yesterday because Switzerland come back.
They've got to win. If they win, they're through.
Yeah.
If they don't, they might not be, because they're on the same points as Switzerland, because obviously they lost their opening game to France, which in all reality is a bit of a travesty, because they should have had a goal or a penalty.
Yeah, because no VAR, is there?
Yeah. It's quite funny now. You watch a game without VAR and you see the mistakes they make, and you think, they've got no VAR, but if there's VAR there, you say, oh, bloody hell, it's going to VAR.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, just to say, I've got 33 watching, 21 likes, so do smash those likes. That'd be great. Thank you very much. And also, if you are new to the channel, then please smash that subscribe and come and join this great community. Dave Bowman, I love the picture, by the way. He says, decent player at a good price, and we need a bigger squad. Do you know what, Dave? You're absolutely spot on, mate. We do need a bigger squad, and that's the thing. That's the key.
It's not a bigger squad, it's a better squad, because we can only have 25 in the squad. We need a better squad.
Yeah, but if you've got youngsters under 21, Rolly, they don't have to be registered, so you're all right,
Yeah.
Knight says, Livermento on Football Manager can play both sides of defence and wings, so quality person to have for covering positions. I mean, that's the thing, Eddie could bring them further forward. I mean,
there's one thing.
We're speaking about DeMarco, and somebody put a great thing in the chat, because Federico DeMarco he's not great at defending, but he's great at going forward. So could you turn Federico DeMarco from a fullback into a left winger. Now the thing is, he does play left back and midfield left, so you could play him as a left winger.
I think the biggest reason that I want Livramento is because Eddie wants him. And whoever Eddie wants, that's fine by me.
Did you see 442 Toon's video about us being linked to Sadio Mane says coffee? Eddie Howe's pun at a press conference was hilarious. Jason Tyndall getting recognition he deserves. I haven't seen it, but I'll have to have a look. Yeah, I would take Smith Rowe, but price would be huge. Well, they say 35 million euros, but yeah, it'd be a bit more than that, I think. I would. He's a good player. Dave says, be delighted if Qatar deal falls through for Man United. Man United fans criticised us for oil money when they've been crying out for the Sheikh to buy them. So not much I cry from the media when it's Man U. You're absolutely right. And the thing is, right, you're absolutely spot on there, Dave. And a good friend of mine, fellow podcaster, she's a Man United fan, Macy, from Devils United, her channel, and she put a thing out on Twitter, and she puts, because obviously she's been to Milan, and she put some pictures on in Milan, and she said, she doesn't understand why Milan are like having to go to Newcastle, having to pop at Newcastle when you look at the buildings in Milan, and yes, there's some nice buildings, but they're nothing special or spectacular. And, Newcastle has a lot of history to offer, as I said in my video yesterday. And then she private messaged me, and she just said, look, at the end of the day, she says, if Tonali was going to Man City, nothing would be said from the fans at all. They wouldn't be said, oh, he's going from Milan to Manchester. That's a bit of a come down. And, she says, it's got nothing to do with the city. It's everything to do with the player and where he fits in at. And I said, yes, you're absolutely right, Macy.
It's just football snobbery, because we've not been in the Premier League for 20 years and they are regulars. They can't believe that that he's going, that an English club that's not done anything in Europe in the guy that I saw is probably in his lifetime, all the time he's been supporting Milan. Can't believe that he's coming to this club in the northeast of England. They've only just started to be good.
Yeah.
They just wake up and smell the coffee. This is reality for Serie A. You're becoming a feeding ground for the Premier League. You've got the two things you can do: like it and nothing.
Andrew says Qatar have come out and publicly supported Putin. That may scupper any Man U deal. Who knows? Nice is 31 watching, 20 likes. Hit those likes. Thank you very much indeed. Red plus Red, I gather you're a Man U fan. He says, wow, now suddenly Newcastle have fans too. Well, look, mate, thank you for coming on the channel. I've been a supporter of Newcastle since I was 10-year-old. 41 years ago. So, I've always been around. I've been through the bad times, the rough times, and, I'm going to say like yourselves as well, because you were through the rough times. I mean, Ferguson, remember, was one game from the sack and you were close to the relegation zone.
It's all relative.
So, so, yes, all our fan base that we have coming on here have been fans for life. Absolutely. Alan says, even Tony and Rowley heard what seems to be a strong rumour regarding Maddison apparently looks to be heading for Man City to replace Gundogan. In a way, it would settle us Toon fans from wondering. Yeah, I've heard that, but I've seen people say he shouldn't go there. That's a bad move for him. But again, I've heard rumours that Leicester's going to lower the price. But do you know what? Look, I saw a comment out today, and I mean, look, Kyle put a comment out. Kyle, who's been on the channel before, and hopefully he'll come on again soon. And he said, if Maddison was called Madisino or whatever, then a lot of the fans will be going, "Oh yeah, buy him." But when it's Maddison, they don't want to touch him. And it's not that, Kyle. It's not the fact that we don't want to touch. It's not the fact we don't want to touch Maddison. The problem is, Kyle, if you're watching as well, mate, the problem is it's Leicester wanting £60 million for a player who's got 1 year on his contract, and for a team that are now in the Championship. They did this with Tielemans last year. They outpriced Arsenal for Tielemans, and they've lost him on a free. If they do it with Maddison, they'll lose him on a free next year. And the thing is, that's not great business from a club, and their owners are going about it the wrong way.
So the
So
longer it takes to sell him, the cheaper it's going to be. Because
if Szoboszlai is worth £61 million, and that's his release clause, right? And they're rating Maddison at 60 million. Who would you rather have? And I'm not saying that I would rather have Szoboszlai because of the name. I would rather have Szoboszlai because, one, he's younger. He's 3 years younger than Maddison. So you're going to get that extra few years out of him. Two, we know he's a terrific player and his creativity's there. So again,
and he'll be cheaper. His wages will be less as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, it's just, yeah.
I think the main problem with Maddison is for a player in his last year of his contract, Man City, Leicester put the price up rather than bringing it down. No one's going to pay what they're asking.
Yeah.
And if they leave it to the end of the transfer window, they're going to get even less than they could if they do the deal now.
Yeah, Lee's hit the nail on the head. He says we need players that can play in the other competitions, like apart from the Champions League, giving some of our top players a rest. Absolutely, Lee. So you want players for the League Cup, you want players for the, for the FA Cup. Look, Man City, you've got basically 2 teams. You could say even nearly 3 teams Man City's got, because they've got youngsters. I mean, look, they brought that Rico Lewis into that side last year, and what a player he is at left back, and he's only going to get better. So, and they've got the likes of Cole Palmer, who they highly rate, because I know we were going to try and take him on loan and they wouldn't let him go, because they highly rate him. The same with Liam Delap, they highly rate him as well. So they've not only got players that they buy, but they've got youngsters coming through. So, and that's what we're trying to create. Yeah, we're trying to get them players in to play catch up, and that's what you need. You need a couple of teams so you can say, right, well, I mean, look, we go back to that Sheffield Wednesday game in the FA Cup. We put it, that team we put out there, they weren't good enough against Sheffield Wednesday, sorry. They weren't good enough against them. And, we deserve to lose that cup. And that's where you saw the lack of strength and depth. So that's what we've got to catch up on. We've got to bridge that gap. Yes, it's going to take a while to bridge it, but when we do bridge it, it'll be absolutely spot on. So I'll just go through some more comments. Lee says Newcastle, the city of dreams. Absolutely. We're in some nice shops in Milan as well. Like, do you know what? I haven't been to Milan, but if somebody went to Milan from Newcastle, just say, for instance, I'm not saying ASM's going to Milan. I'm just saying if he did go to Milan, I wouldn't come on shouting my mouth off saying, "Oh no, you can't sell him. Don't sell Milan. Milan's a shithole," and all this. I wouldn't call it that, because I've never been to Milan.
They haven't got Greg's in Milan.
I wouldn't go to Milan. I haven't been to Milan. I'd love to go to Milan. I wonder if it would be a good choice to go to Milan and go and do a tour in the San Siro of my Newcastle top. But I wonder if that would be a bad idea.
It depends. If you are there with Inter fans, it's probably not a bad idea, because they're probably killing themselves laughing.
Yeah. I mean, that Nugget who said, we've been going as a team for 2 years. Where's his research? And not only that, he said, first time in the Champions League. No, first time in 20 years in the Champions League, mate. He's not the first time. Some people really need to do their research. If you're going to make a video and make a fool of yourself.
He was so upset that he got all his facts mixed up. You can see him almost crying.
Andrew says Primani, great Italian shop in the Metro Centre.
Yeah, well, but the one thing he did get right, it says that Newcastle's near Scotland. We did get something right, but everything else he said then was wrong.
I've been a fan since I was 10, says Kong, as all my mates were Man U fans and refused to support them. Absolutely. Lee says, can still remember seeing Jimmy Neal in the Gola and the the Gala End, yeah. And when I was a young lad watching us playing, yeah, I used to go in there a lot. Coffee says I had a lot of friends who are Man U fans too when I was in school. I used to get trolled a lot, yeah. Well, I say half brother because that's only because I found out he's my half brother now. But yeah, he's a Man United fan, and I never forgive him for that. Yeah, and my brother, who is the Man U fan, used to go to school with Kenny Wharton, who played for Newcastle,
Oh, it's a good player.
and they used to play foot. They used to kick about in the yard together because they were the best of buddies, you know. So, and Kenny Wharton used to live behind me where I lived. So, yeah,
Yeah,
there you go. A
what a
little
player!
bit of history there for you.
What a player Kenny Wharton was.
Oh, yeah, he was a good player. I get Madison for 35 million, not a penny more, says Jan. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Vote
agree.
for that. Evening, Tony and Rolly. Zoe G's comment about people in Newcastle is a downgrade to Milan. Do you know what? Yes, I showed that yesterday. I just thought, where is this? And then she says, I think I'll have to call time on Twitter because I'm getting too much crap off Newcastle fans. No, it's because you've put the crap out there. And if you're going to put something out there, mud sticks. That's the thing, mud sticks. And if you're going to put something out there to have a slate and a dig, it's a city that is a great city. We've got a lot to offer in that city. You know, I'm proud that I came from that city. I'm proud that I was born in the Newcastle General Hospital. My eldest daughter was the last baby to come out the General Hospital before, as we actually came out, they locked the doors behind us because that was it. The maternity unit was no more, moved down to the RVI after that, you know. And she's 30 this year. So that shows you, you know. So again, at the end of the day, you know, it's a great city. Newcastle is a great city. We have a lot to offer. There's a lot of great restaurants in Newcastle. There's some fantastic pubs in Newcastle. The nightlife is fantastic. You know, I love the big market. You know, we've got everything down there. Away fans can come into any pub in Newcastle on match day, and there's no problem whatsoever because we are welcoming. We are friendly people, you know, and that's what's great about it. And as I've said before, my partner, she's from Cambridge. She'd never been to Newcastle before. And when I took her there, she went to Newcastle and she was like, wow, she'd fell in love with it straight away. And she said, do you know what? I love this place. The people are really, really friendly. I've never met a more bunch of friendly people in all my life. I think down here, people are too much, you know, not as friendly. But when you get up to Newcastle, she's a totally different place. And I said, exactly. So, you know, so a lot of these people who haven't beaten Newcastle, what they need to do is go and have a weekend in Newcastle and it'll change their opinions. And the likes of that Zoe G, if she went to Newcastle for a weekend, she'll probably change her opinion and think, oh, hang on a minute. Maybe I was a bit harsh on Newcastle. Well, yes, you bloody well were. And then insult and say, no, well, if Tonali gets offered a shepherd's pie, he's not going to enjoy that.
How do you know?
What's that got to do? Yeah, exactly. How does she know?
Yeah, I mean, he might have a shepherd's pie and decide it's the best thing he's ever tasted. So don't have shepherd's pie. He might be one of those people, like when he goes abroad, like eating the local dishes.
I mean, look, we've got beautiful bridges there across the River Tyne. The Tyne Bridge, it's, you know, it's iconic. Some people look at the Tyne Bridge in a quick picture and go, oh, that's Sydney. And they go, oh, no, it's not, it's Newcastle, because it looks like the Sydney Harbour Bridge. You know, we've got them bridges across the Tyne, the Swing Bridge, the High Level Bridge, you know, the Queen Elizabeth II Bridge, the King Edward VII behind it, you know. We've got a great train station, the Central Station there, you know. Shopping centre, Eldon Square, lovely university, you know. The nightlife, like I say, and the lovely cathedral. But the best of all, the cathedral on the hill, St James's Park. So, you know, what more could you ask? Plus, you've got a football ground, which is in the centre of town, and there's not many football grounds left now that are in the centre of the cities or towns. So, you know, again, it's, yeah, some very bitter people out there.
What it is a lot of it is jealousy that we could sign someone like Tonali. That it's either jealousy or disillusionment with their own club. If they're Milan supporters, are disillusioned at their club. If they're not Milan supporters, they're pissed that we're able to attract someone of that quality to our club.
Ian says, Man U don't
Go
have
try
fans,
me a
just
river.
glory hunters. Rolly. Ian says, Man U don't have fans, just glory hunters. And then Clarky says, more like glory horse. Oh, God, Clarky, honestly. Mary, I've never met a glory horse.
You obviously have a clean and wholesome mind, Mary.
Yeah, I've been to Milan. You ain't really missing anything. Loads of expensive shops. €10 for an ice cream. Well, there you go. Geordie people are second to nobody. Absolutely, Mark. Definitely, mate. Definitely. Clarky, clearly you've met too many. Says Mary. Ian says, I haven't been to one. He's seen it on the TV. Yeah. I see that Muppet with a Barcelona scarf. Yeah, he's got a Barcelona scarf in the background. I know it's stupid. Two siblings. One is a Man U fan, the other a Newcastle fan. Can you see the fun it still has? A little sis has. Yeah, absolutely. Clarky says there's a nice chippy in Newcastle, to be fair. There's a lot of nice chippies in Newcastle. When I was still working, I used to go to Milan every 2 weeks. Then spent large transformers, nothing special. Love a shepherd's pie. Holly says, yes, Newcastle amazing place and club. That's why I'm proud to support the club. Absolutely, Holly. Well said, well said. Oh, yes, the train station. I'm sold. Moving to Newcastle tomorrow by train, says Clarky. The Sacred Ground, St James's Park, absolutely. David says, travel over a lot from Ireland to matches, and yes, love it in Newcastle. City, great. Geordie's some of the friendliest people you can meet. The surroundings, countryside, beautiful. Fitness to our eyes. Absolutely well said, David. Absolutely well said.
That's what it is. It's all about jealousy and bitterness because everybody was happy with us fighting relegation and getting relegated every now and then. The teams
Mason. Wonder Schofield is a glory hole. Blakey says, at the end of the day, fans of other clubs are jealous as fuck of us. They wish the Saudis had bought their club. Tough shit. Absolutely. Well said, Blakey. Do you know what, mate? Couldn't have said that any better.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go to another player now. So as I say, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe, guys. That would be great. Thank you. And if you do want to be a member, it is 99p a month. Just click that join button and Super Chat's available. Right, okay. So the next player is this guy. So this guy is called Adam Wharton. Now we're just talking about Kenny Wharton. So this is Adam Wharton, who plays for Blackburn Rovers. 19-year-old.
He looks about 12.
He looks about, well, he does look about 12, but he's not 12. He's actually 19. He's born 2004. He's 5'12", basically 6 foot. He's 19 years of age, like I say. They say his valuation is €3.7 million. He started 12 out of 18 games last season, scored 2 goals and got 1 assist. He's primarily a midfielder, plays in the centre of midfield. Again, it's a youngster. Now then, we have been credited with interest for him as well. But according to a journalist as well, Everton are now interested in him because they're looking for a replacement for Andre Onana, who is attracting attention from West Ham United. Because obviously West Ham, when they sell Declan Rice, will be looking for a midfielder. Now reports are saying we've made a move for Wharton, but Everton may match the valuation and say to Adam Wharton, we can give you the quicker chance of playing in the Premier League than Newcastle will give you. But yes, however, Wharton is happy to sign a new deal at Blackburn and then look to move maybe in a year's time. Not only us and Everton are looking at him, but also Arsenal, Brighton, and Crystal Palace have also had interest in him as well. I mean, he had a breakthrough season last season, scoring 3 goals and 4 assists in 28 appearances. That's in all competitions, so he's an up and coming player. He's under contract till 2027. He signed a new 5-year deal in September. But the director of football has revealed it would take a significant offer for the club to consider cashing in him on the summer. I mean, not a lot I've seen of Alan Wharton, in all honesty. But, again, it's a youngster.
What do they call the significant offer? that doesn't mean anything
Well,
because what's
well, it
significant
doesn't,
to
does it? But I
them
mean,
could be
yeah,
chicken feed for us. So are they talking sort of like something in the region of £10 million?
possibility,
Because that
possibility.
for
But again,
Blackburn, who've been in the Championship for a long time, that's a significant offer.
yeah, but again, Rolly, it could be one of those, it could be again, no, it's a youngster, but it's one of those. Do you buy him and then say, right, we'll loan you back to Blackburn for a season,
That's a possibility. That's a possibility.
and then he can go back there and uh, and be a Blackburn player for another season. Um, I mean, I like the way they've put it in that report that Everton are interested in telling them that you'll get Premier League football quicker with them than you will at Newcastle.
Well,
Um,
unless he breaks, if they sign him, unless he breaks into the first team, he'll be playing Championship football again.
thing is, so with Everton, though, so right, them saying, oh yes, you'll get quicker time in the Premier League. Yeah, but you might only be in the Premier League one season because Everton could go down next season. So
Yeah, exactly.
that time might run out. We want their time to run out.
I mean, the thing you've got to remember is that how many youngsters sign for Man City at that sort of age?
Yeah.
And they've got a really difficult path to get into the first team. Um,
Mm,
you sell them the club and you sell them the pathway to the first team at a
yeah.
successful club or a club that's becoming rapidly successful, rather than, oh, we can put you in the first team in a club that's likely to be struggling again.
Yeah.
I don't say, oh, we can get into the first team quicker. Yeah, well, if they do that, that's because they're struggling. Does he want to go into a
Yeah.
team that's going to be battling relegation again?
I just want to give a
But,
shout out there to Clarky. He's just become a member on the channel. Thank you very much
well done,
indeed,
Parky.
Clarky.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
But yeah, that's it, Rolly. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's another youngster, and if he comes in, then yeah, why not? But again, it's just a link. We don't know if it's true or not, but it's just one of those, and
Yeah. Again,
we just have to wait and see, won't we?
again, at the end of the day, all for someone like that, it'll all be down to price.
Yeah. Jake, for God's sake, Mason, you're one of the worst, Jake, for it. Everybody's laughing at Mason's comment when he says Schofield choking out of his glory hole. Adam Morton now taken out, says Andrew. Lee says Schofield likes golf. He used to play with two pairs of trousers in case he got a hole in one. Oh, for God's sake. Warburton. Andrew, I'm saying out. I've never been to Newcastle, says Kenneth, but would love to go there some point. Got friends outside Newcastle area. I'm from Denmark. There's a lot of Danish fans, like a couple of thousand from my country. Yeah, if you ever get the chance, mate, go over to Newcastle have a weekend, mate. You'll thoroughly enjoy yourself. Yeah. Newcastle have a lot of fans in Scandinavia, says Blakey. Absolutely. And it's great, We always have had that Scandinavian connection. We've had players from Denmark as well, when you think. We've had Peter Lovenkrantz, joined on a free from Germany. We we got Frank Pingle, who, yeah, we not talk a lot about him.
No.
We had Bjorn Christensen, who wasn't too bad either, So, yeah, we've had a fair few. Clarky said, I think 8 to 10 million was quoted. Yeah, that's not a bad price, really, is it, for a youngster? They are younger and younger. Clearly, the stats speak volumes, says Mary. Yeah, absolutely. Andrew says, I bought my daughter a pony. They want to make a film about, titled Warhorse. A lot of fans live in Geordie Navia. I love that one, Andrew. That's brilliant, mate. That's brilliant. But yeah, I mean, Adam Morton, I mean, I could see that if that did happen, that would be a good deal. What about you, Rolly? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, part of the remit is to increase the quality of the youth system, the academy.
Yeah.
Players like that will help the academy. So I'm all for getting young prospects in. I don't think I'd want to be paying 10 million for him, but we paid was it 6 for Yankuba Minter. So
Mm,
in that sort of region, I'd be quite happy to take a punt on that.
yeah.
But
I
so
mean, look, I'm looking at his stats
club
here
know,
on.
at the end of the day, the club know what he's worth to Newcastle, and they won't, as we know, they won't
Mhm.
get jerked around, and they won't get um, taken advantage of in the transfer market. So if we get him, we'll get him at the price the club's happy with.
I mean, look, this is similar players to Adam Morton. Okay, um, how the he's even in that list, I do not know, but one's from Sunderland anyway. Um, but you've got Fernandinho, who plays for Atletico Paranaense, the ex-Man City player. I mean, look, there are a lot of like different players in that list, not none that we've really heard of. But again, he's just a young lad, doesn't see what age, his wages. But I mean, look,
In the
he's
championship,
passed,
it's not going to be a lot.
he's his progressive passes per game is 79%. I mean, that's amazing for a young lad, you know.
Yeah. So,
Um,
I mean, if
attempt,
he's in the
you know,
championship and he's only just breaking
mm,
into the first team, he might be on a couple of thousand a week, if that, in the championship.
yeah, I would say so as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say so as well, Rolly. I wouldn't think it. I wouldn't think he's on a lot of money, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. We're going to bring up another player in a moment. Um, okay, right. Let's get this next player on screen after I just nip into a few comments here. Wayne says, "I remember when Joel Dahl Thomason Shizza was class for Milan. Yeah, he was terrible for us, but yeah, he went to Milan and was absolutely
I think
fantastic.
part of the reason it's so bad for us because we didn't play him to his
Mm,
strength.
no. Blakey says, hope we go for Big Dom's the boss line next. Do you know what? They reckon there's talk about that. And I saw a report today saying, and I know Rolly's not going to like this when I say this, but this is only what the paper report said, Rolly. So don't have a go at me, Rolly. Please don't shout at me.
I won't
But
shoot the messenger.
what they said was the news report said Zabozlai would be the perfect replacement if Newcastle got rid of ASM. There we go.
Yeah, if we get rid of ASM, I'd
Well,
rather keep
AC
ASM.
Milan are still keen on him.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. And
And we want Theo Hernandez. There might be a deal there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So at the end of the day, when it comes to ASM, personally, I'd like to keep him, but I don't know what the club's plans are for the personnel recruitment and departures. If there's a
Mm,
deal to be done, which means ASM leaves and we get another marquee signing, it's
yeah,
football. It's very rare that players stay at a club for the entire career. Um,
I mean,
I mean, the only time you get players staying at a club for a really long time is if they come up through the youth system and they're not turned into superstars but are good enough to play in the league you're in or the league above.
yeah,
Or people like Alan Shearer are going back to their hometown club and that was ambition to play for them. And as long as you're in the top division, they'll stay there. Um, Nowadays, you look at players at most clubs, 4 or 5 year like that shelf life at a club, and then they move on.
yeah.
I'd be sad to see him go, but I, I think the difference is now that I know that if we sell him, the club have got a plan in place for what they're going to do with the money. Under the
Oh,
previous
yeah,
owners, if we sold him, he had a plan for what to do with the money, and it had nothing to do with the playing staff.
Yeah. I mean, Jake's in there. Don't see Anderson getting much game time. Well, I wouldn't think. I mean, look, I think he'll get game time in the cups, and he'll still have a part to play in the Premier League, I'm sure. And this is where Anderson has now got to go out there and say, right. But you see, if you've got the likes of Dominic Szoboszlai in training, and you're Eddie Anderson, and you're seeing the skill that that guy's got, you can learn so much of him. If, say, Chiesa comes into the club, you'll learn a lot of Chiesa. And the thing is, this is great for the youngsters. The same as like Lewis Smelly. He'll learn a lot of these players that are coming in. So if these players do come into the club, if we do get the likes of Szoboszlai and Chiesa in, the young players learn from that.
It's
And
not
they're
just
getting
that, it's
goes
added
up another
incentive
level.
for them to step up the game.
Yeah, absolutely, Rolly.
And
Dave says,
competition. So iron sharpens iron. You want all the competition you can. Just because we're getting in world-class players doesn't mean that youngsters we have at the moment won't be able to get into the team. I
yeah,
mean, if you look at the beginning of last season, people are saying, oh, we should send Anderson out on loan again. And we didn't. And he's improved. And he's played well when he's come on. He
yeah,
was unfortunate that his first start was marred with Nick Pope getting sent off. But he's
yeah,
come on, he's made an impact when he's come on. He's still going to be in that rotation. He'll be coming off the bench.
yeah.
He'll be starting the cup games.
Dave says, hard for young player going into Everton as well, as they are going to be a toxic atmosphere against the owners. The team struggling for years. Newcastle under Ashworth will give young players a path to a team. You're
Yeah.
absolutely spot on, Dave. I mean, that's the thing. If you go to Everton, you're going to have that toxic atmosphere. Rumours are Damari Gray's on his way to Saudi Arabia now. Mason says Adam Morton's brother is one of Blackburn's centre backs. Both are Blackburn born and bred and support the club. Thing is, yeah, money talks for Blackburn, no. Blakey says the boss like Denali, Bruno, Big Joe. Absolutely, that'll be great. Can send me the call link on Instagram, says Newcastle Daily. Lee says, whoever Eddie brings into the club, I'll be happy with new players. It'll be player strength in the team, absolutely. BS says, I would be sad to see ESM go. I got 3 shirts with his name on. Yeah, I've got 2 shirts with his name on. I think Everton go down next season, says Coffee. Yeah, absolutely. I think so as well.
Yeah.
I think time runs out. Right, the next player coming on the screen now, and this is the final player we're going to show of the night, and this is Yusuf En Nasri. So he's Moroccan. That's some scoring in the World Cup in Qatar. When Morocco made it all the way to the semi-finals, which I thought they did absolutely fantastic as a team. You know, they shocked a lot of teams, even beating Belgium, the mighty Belgium, yeah. So, right. So, Yusuf En Nasri, or Nasri, I can't pronounce his name. Anyway, he's got a contract till 2025 with Sevilla. He's 26 years of age. He's 6'3", plays up front. He's left-footed. His weaknesses is his passing, and he's got no outstanding strengths. Now then, if we look at the La Liga from last season, so he started 17 out of 31 games, got Team of the Week once, he got 8 goals, and he got 1 assist. He scored 3 goals with his head, four with his left foot, and he got 1 right foot goal as well, and never won a penalty. So that's not bad. I mean, he's passing as well. His passing range per game is 66% accurate. So again, as his weaknesses is, it's his passing. But he's there to score goals, not to pass the ball, I suppose. I mean, look, he's got 4 yellow cards in that season as well. Sevilla signed him for 20 million euros in 2020 from Legans. For 6, they signed him from Malaga, Legans. So again, look, yes, his scoring record doesn't look absolutely massive. If I look at the season before in La Liga, he started 15 out of 23 games and got 5 goals and 1 assist. But again, it'd probably just be somebody you have on the bench, strength and depth, and to bring off the bench if you need a goal. Yusuf and Nesri, Rolly, what do you take on him?
The first thought that comes to mind is that there are other positions we need to strengthen first. Not sold on him. I think the World Cup's bad to sort of judge him on, because up front the Moroccans weren't that good, which makes it sort of they did score goals, but they didn't frighten you. The forwards didn't frighten you. It was the midfielders more than anything else.
Yeah.
And I've read some reports where they're saying that we're actually not interested in him, but who knows? It's another case of if we're in for him, I bow to Eddie and Dan's superior knowledge. If we're not in for him, I won't lose any sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, look, according to Morocco's World News, that we have reportedly interest in securing the services of him, and we've inquired to the Spanish club about the player.
I forget what I saw. I'll just see if I can find it. There's an article.
But West Ham are looking at him as well.
They need some strikers. I saw earlier.
He did win Player of the Month in La Liga in April. So
I'm not saying he's not a good striker. I'm just saying that I'm not sure that he's one. He doesn't excite me. I'm not sure.
He scored 2 goals in the World Cup. He scored one against Belgium and one against Portugal.
Yeah. I'm not saying you've got to be a decent striker to actually score in the World Cup. I'm not trying to belittle his abilities. I just don't. First and foremost, I don't think it's the area that we'd be looking at this point in the window, and the only time we'd be looking at it if it's something fell in our lap that was too good to pass on. But I'm not 100% sure. I've seen a lot of media speculations that we're in for him, but I've also seen a few saying that we're not interested in him. So I really don't know where we stand on the guy. Can't seem to find it at the moment. But,
Clarky says, I'm still here just listening, just trying to find something for our lass's birthday. I'm sure people in the chat might give you help with that.
Well, I'm not sure.
No, actually don't ask people in the chat, because you might get some weird combinations.
I'm not so sure you want some of the recommendations you get from the chat.
No, not at all. I just thought, no, you better not do that. That might end. That might not end great. So no, don't do that. Ian says Al Nasri scored 18 in all competitions this past season. Not bad. Yeah, again, it's not bad, is it? Oh. He scored a brace that knocked Man United out, says Coffee. Yes, he did, didn't he? You can't go wrong with voucher, says Beer. Yeah, given the advice. Yeah, you can't. I mean, get a voucher. What does she? Or get one of those 1 for all cards where she can go shopping anywhere she wants. Oh, you could always buy a toaster or a Hoover or something. Oh no, you better not, Clarky. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You can get you know how you can get an iPad and an iPhone? Why don't you get your Mrs. Nyron? Do you get an Iron? Well, anyway. No, not the best to give you. But yeah, it depends what kind of vouchers you want. But yeah, you can get one of those 1 for all, and she can go shopping wherever she likes, then River Island or whatever, Clarky says beer. Yeah, because then if she doesn't like a Clarky, you can drink it, can't you? So, win-win. Tune shirt for the lass's birthday, says Andrew. Foxy's in the chat. He says, Nasri is sensational. Very complete all round, but can't see it. If he joins Norway, both Isak and Wilson do. Need a young prospect forward.
Yeah.
Interesting, Foxy. Yeah, he is. He is a good player, Foxy. I really do agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think the prescient point in that comment, Foxy, is that we need a young prospect. We don't need someone that's
Gift Orban.
Yeah, we need a young prospect rather than someone that's not as good as the two main strikers we've got.
Bia says, my girlfriend keeps asking me to buy a dishwasher. I said, why would I need two? I hope she's not watching, Bia. I hope she's not watching. You're in trouble tonight. You're in the doghouse. Lee says, Newcastle club shop voucher, says Lee. Andrew says, great Pressy, let her have a remote one night. I did say it would probably turn bad about the asking the chat to give them ideas. Oh God, honestly. But yeah, though that's going to be one of the comments of the night, hasn't it? Dishwasher. He says, "Why would I need two?" Yeah. Oh God, honestly, yeah. But no, I mean, you know, I look at En Nasri, right? And yes, he is a good player, and like Foxy says, he is a sensational player. But it's where would he actually fit in, and that's the thing. And
Yeah, because it's not going to play ahead of Isak. It's not going to play ahead of Wilson. So, is he going to be happy sitting on the bench, maybe playing cup games? At his age and his stage of the career, I don't think so.
that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you know,
And does his style fit with what Eddie wants to play?
that's the thing. I mean, you know, he's in good company, but yeah, that's the thing. It's yeah, that's it. It depends whether he wants to sit on the bench as well, and he's not going to be wanting to sit on the bench. He's going to be wanting to play. So
Yeah.
it's one of those, isn't it? Again, it's all rumours, Rolly. At the end of the day, until till the players stand there with a Newcastle shirt on and a scarf above their head, that's when you can say yes, they've signed. But,
Or the club announced either his club or our club announced it on the website.
Foxy says Lille and Burnley are after Gift Orban. There we go. We need to be in there then.
I stand with my previous comments. I don't think he's ready for the Premier League. The only way I'd take him is you're going to send him out on loan.
Coffee says, gift her a plant sapling. Lee says, the ex asked me once if I'd take her out. I said, yeah, with a shock. Oh, God. Oh, my God, Lee, honestly. Oh, God. Honestly. It just gets better and better. Paul's put one on. I had a bird shit on my bonnet once, so I dumped it. Yeah, that's an old one, Paul. We've heard that one before, yes. Yeah. It used to be, what would you do with a bird shit on your head? I'll pack her in. Yeah, simple as, yeah. But, yeah. So anyway, guys and girls, that's a transfer roundup tonight. I think it's been a great show tonight. And Jake says, yeah, you smell like me, like me neither, so get cooking. God, Jake. So yeah, it's been a great show tonight, guys. And Rolly, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
I'm on Twitter at Pole67.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much indeed, Rolly. Yes, so we've had a good look at some players there tonight, and you know, again, they're only links. We don't know if they're actually true. I mean, yes, we've heard they're in advanced talks with Southampton, so again, that may develop. So we'll wait and see. Pete Graves has even reported on it, so we'll see what happens. But if you have enjoyed the show, then please do make sure you smash that like if you haven't done so already. It does help the channel up the search results and makes people find the channel easier, so you viewers. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then smash that subscribe and come and join this great community we have here. And also the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, any upcoming shows. If you do want to join as a member, as Clarky did tonight, then just click the join button. It is only 99p per month, and we will be doing regular monthly prize draws as well. So there'll be different prizes every month. So do sign up for that. And if you want to, and super chats are available as well if you want to make a donation that way. So there we go, guys. And you can find me on Tony Tooney on Twitter, 31 on Twitter. So just follow me on there and I'll follow you back. Same handle on Twitch, and on Facebook it's all Black and White TV. Click the link to join and I will let you in as well. I'll just go to some comments here. Andrew says good stuff, thank you very much. Bye. Tony Rolliano says coffee. Bye coffee. Ian says great show, guys, thank you very much. Ian. Clarky says good show later, guys. See you later, Clarky, and hope you get sorted out for your girlfriend's birthday. Good show, lads. Take care all. Thank you very much, Dave. See you again, mate. Take care, says Mason. Thank you, Mason. See you later, mate. Foxy says that Colombian lad I mentioned, Oscar Cortez, has joined Champions League loans now. Good move for him. Wow. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, see how he does then, Foxy. Been a great tonight, lads. Getting better all the time, and everyone, thank you very much indeed, Lee. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's been a great show, and you know, you're quite welcome to share the show around on your socials as well. So anybody who hasn't come across the channel will then come across it and be hooked, hopefully. So that's the aim. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's been a great show, and you know, we've had a blast as well. So we've had a good look at players. But just remember, the future's bright. The future is black and white. It's goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me.
Away the lads.